if you're here, that means you're looking for some synastry tea, synastry goss, and I got the gossip for you. It's your host, theimaniamanda, a rising astrologer. And today we're talking about Ascendant in the 10th house, synastry overlay. We're almost done with the Ascendant series. We're gonna go into Mercury overlays next, which I already have a few requests from people on what houses to start with, so that'll be coming up soon. You'll have to be here, you'll have to be subscribed to see what videos are coming next, okay? And I hope that you have those notifications on too, because your girl don't got a schedule. I just be posting whenever I get the urge, whenever I get the feeling, whenever I have the time, because y'all be keeping me busy, okay? And I love it. Thank you so much for supporting me, supporting this channel, and I just love to kiki with y'all. So let's just get into it, no further delay. Ascendant in the 10th house. I have to admit, 10th house synastry isn't exactly my favorite, but this one's alright. This one I can work with. This one is one that I have experienced quite intimately, and I love the results it gave me, you know. Which doesn't sound very romantic, but it has its own little unique thing. Ascendant overlays aren't inherently romantic, you know. If you want to get to the real romance roots of your relationship, you go to Venus overlays, which, look in the playlist, I already have all that done. Or you go to Mars, you go to Moon, you know. Sun overlays and Ascendant overlays, those are like stuff that will help to build the relationship, but it's not always going to be lovey-dovey. And that's with 10th house synastry. It's not always lovey-dovey, but when you get it right, it has its time to shine for sure. So usually I find when you have this overlay with someone, you have a very similar skill set. Usually you both are good at public speaking, which I know either one or both of you gonna say, oh my god, no, like I hate public speaking, I'm so shy, that's like the worst thing to do, I hate when people call on me, da 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 da. Usually I feel like neither of you really like the spotlight in that way or crave the spotlight in that way, but this is how you guys notice each other. So you meet, maybe this is like a work meeting, maybe that's where like the public speech is, you know. 10th house, we gonna talk about work, we gonna talk about career and shit. But when you meet this person, you see them like delivering some kind of monologue. You see them taking charge of the room, taking command of a room, organizing chaos in a room, just very leader energy, you know. Watching each other explain or analyze something, it's very hypnotizing to you guys. This is what draws y'all together. Maybe it's just you overheard them calling out someone's BS, and that really makes you be like, yeah, that's my type. They don't take no shit, as they should. That's the kind of person you want in your corner, and so you definitely think about collaborating with them because of that, whether that's as a professional collaboration or a romantic collaboration. I feel like too, when you attract this synastry overlay, that stage in your life, you're just at a point where there's a lot of chaos, and this person comes in and is like your peace, your eye of the storm. They definitely help you to give some sort of structure, some sort of boundaries to your life. You could be juggling a lot in your own work life if you don't work together, and that person kind of helps to streamline things to make your life easier, and that's what you need in a partner, okay? You need them to make your life easier, not harder. I would say with this one, the house person is usually the more blunt type of person out of the two of you. Like, it just comes more naturally. And the ascendant person is like cinnamon roll, where the ascendant person will very pleasantly surprise the house person by being just as blunt as them. I feel like the ascendant person gets nervous to show that side, that more blunt side of them to the house person specifically, because maybe in the past they've dealt with people who are more fragile, to be honest, or maybe they've always got the remark that they just sound aggressive or just doing too much. But the house person loves it. That's the attraction. The house person does get quite tickled when they see that side of you, even if it's directed, like that blunt energy is directed towards them. Ascendant in the 10th house synastry overlay is like that meme where the person in the couple is like cussing the other one out. It's like, don't help me, I'm right where I want to be. Yes. Like, obviously if you're in a fight, you're gonna argue back, but it's gonna be one of those things where like once you've resolved it, you'll be like, that was kind of hot. One of my favorite things about this overlay is that the ascendant person learns to be more aggressive, unpolished. And the house person actually learns to just take less responsibility for other people's fuck-ups. For the house person, it's like, you know, when someone's used to calling out BS a lot, it gets to the point where it's just like, for everything now, you just automatically, it's almost like muscle memory, you just start to take charge with everything. You double down on things that don't even need to be doubled down on, not because you're trying to like push your agenda, although sometimes you are, but like it's just like due to experience, you gain that confidence in being loud and being proud with your opinion, and it just ends up biting other people in the face when they challenge you because you're usually right. But for the ascendant person, their bluntness is more like, it only comes out when it's like a lot of people coming at one person, just more of those like imbalanced situations where you need someone to kind of even out the odds. The ascendant person, though, I will say, at the time that they meet the house person, the ascendant person is more experienced in choosing themselves, even if they feel like they may not be experts at it just yet. And so it's like they can teach the house person that it's okay to let someone else fight certain battles. It's okay to let someone else lead the charge. Just it's okay to pick and choose, you know? But then also the house person teaches the ascendant person that not because it's already been said doesn't mean that your voice doesn't matter. It's okay to speak up on something even if you're saying the exact same thing as someone else. Like, you deserve to have that space for that self-expression. So yeah, I mean, in your own ways, you each have a strong will, you each have a confidence, and you just help to develop that more in each other, help to flesh that out in each other. Underneath that, it's like you both find that, especially with family, you do feel like you struggle with people pleasing. So it's very complex. It's like, how can you be confident but you also feel like you're struggling with people pleasing? Humans are very complex beings, okay? Follow me here. Especially when it has to do with a specific group of people, like your family. You know, your family is touching at points in you that you struggle with the most, and so maybe with other people you've been able to overcome that and be this rock for them. Like, you're the rock for your friends, you're the person holding it together when something goes wrong at work. But then with your family, it's like all that armor falls off, and it's hard to like bring that work personality into the family dynamic. So you both see that struggle, that duality in each other, and that builds that bond between you. It's like, oh, this other person knows what it's like to undergo that pressure from people that you love, that pressure to just like produce results. And it's nice to kind of share those worries and fears with someone, because it's not often you find someone in your life that you can just fully exhale and just be like, ugh, you know, without worrying that the other person is gonna see you weak if they see that side of you. I think there's just, with this overlay, that utmost respect of each other's positions, no matter where you are in your life, where you seeing them without their armor isn't gonna change their perception of you. And yeah, you'll just be surprised how often that happens in relationships, where the minute you let your guard down, it's like, oh, you're a bitch, you're a pussy, like, you're supposed to be riding for me, blah blah blah. Just those expectations, those heavy expectations that come in different types of relationship dynamics. It's hard. So when you have this overlay, you don't have to worry about those certain expectations. You can just kind of like let loose and be yourself, because you're accepted for your aggressive side, and you're accepted for that softer personality. No one's gonna be like, this one's the real you, or this one's the real you. It's like, you each can see that you're complex, and both those facets make you whole. And yeah, again, that respect to where whichever side that you want to show in whatever situation, that's what your choice was, and I respect your use of your free will. That's real love to me. Like, a lot of people think that reciprocation and sacrifice is the only thing that love is about, but you know, those are just popular ways to show love. I feel like respect for each other, self-respect, just like I said, respecting each other's choices, that is a different level of love that I feel like it's often not achieved. It's always kind of like, oh, if I'm with you, then you have to be who I envisioned you to be, or like this title comes with these rules. And here it's just like, no, whoever you are, whatever you feel in your heart to give me, I accept that that is you, and I'm not gonna try to change how you do things. Obviously too, now there is kind of a flip side to that, where that can come off as a negative thing, because this is not the relationship where the other person's gonna do something for you just because you want them to do it in that way. You know what I mean? It's like, what you see is what you get. The things that were opposite with you are not gonna change in the relationship. If they meet you and they don't like large crowds, they're not gonna like want to go to a concert with you 10 years down the line just because you've been together for 10 years, and like now that's an expectation that you're gonna sacrifice certain things about your comfortability for me. You're not gonna find that here. Like, that type of compromise is it's not available in this overlay. A lot of what's stressed here in this overlay is each other's integrity, and you're not gonna compromise that for even the happiness of your partner. I don't want you to hear that though and think that, oh my god, this means that if I have this overlay with someone, they're not gonna do nice things for me, or like they're not gonna want to see me happy. It's like, no, whatever they do just has to be within their limitations. So if you want a certain thing from them, maybe they're like, okay, I can't do that exact thing, but I know that I can do this, so they'll try that to make you happy, as opposed to trying to like go outside of themselves. And yeah, I feel like that works for me, because I'm just like, I don't want you to feel resentment later on down the line, because now you've done so many things that were outside of you just to please me, that now you then kind of hate me because you don't feel like yourself anymore. And it also obviously depends on what other overlays and aspects that you have going on in your synastry chart. Again, this is just one sliver of it. You could have something else like Mars in the first along with this, and that might be more inclined to sacrifice as a way of showing you love. But then where the ascendant in the 10th overlay is going to come in, it's like, okay, if I do this for you, you have to do something just as equal for me. Like, however this experience is going to be for me, you also have to experience that. So it's like the ascendant in the 10th house synastry overlay is bringing back that equality, that fairness, that balance. And yeah, that's, I feel like this is also a good quality for people who live together. Then you can really feel like it's both your homes, because you're both making choices that the other person wants, and kind of opens up how deep you can go with certain compromises. Usually though, ascendant in the 10th house synastry overlay, it's very tight, like tight boundaries even with each other. This overlay, I mean, it does force you to get clear about what your non-negotiables are. But yeah, I just feel like this person, like I said earlier, there's chaos going on in your life, and you look to this person to find structure. So in that way, this other person is your peace. This is the person that you can hang around just in silence with. You know, you guys go through so much mental strain and stress in the world that with each other you can kind of just let go. And yeah, that's the bond. That's where the bond builds. Last thing I will say to do with like the bond that you guys make, it's also about how you were raised in your environment. Pays homage a little bit to the 4th house, because that sits opposite to the 10th house. But like a few scenarios that I've seen with this overlay, first is like either you both have those parents who expect you to be this success story of the family, and it's like they expect you to save them or just be as good as them. That can be one of the pressures. You know, 10th house, we're always talking about pressure. So that could be one of the pressures that you guys have both experienced and kind of bond through. Another is like kind of the opposite, where maybe the family doesn't care at all about achieving or bettering themselves, and you kind of take it upon yourself to be like, no, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna show the family that there's more to life than just this, that people can upgrade and like take themselves out of the situation they were born in. It's like that yearning to just not stay small, essentially. So in that way, that's kind of like self-pressure. Another one I've seen is like the family can actually think they're better than you, or they kind of view you as the failure of the family, especially if it's a scenario where they're all in the same field and you decide to like do something else and venture out. It's like, oh, like your stuff, your goals, your dreams aren't that serious, like we don't take them seriously, we think you're like lazy or whatever it is, just you're not up to their standards, the family standards, and you both can kind of bond over that. But yeah, whether you're proving your family wrong or proving something to yourself, you guys are both very goal-oriented people in that way, and you push each other. Not that you have to push much, but like you're just that support system for each other. Again, it's something else that we talk about a lot with the 10th house. So much support, mutual support in seeing the other person achieve whatever they want to in life. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a little cheerleader on the side? But yeah, that's it. Ascendant in the 8th is next. That's going to complete the ascendant overlays. Then we're going to go into Mercury, and we're going to keep the synastry gossip coming. We're gonna keep this train rolling because there's always something to talk about in synastry. I have something special coming up that I'm not gonna announce. I'm just gonna surprise y'all, but I think it's gonna be a good surprise. I think y'all are gonna be happy. So yeah, stay tuned. See you later.